Hey there. So here I have the Tapo C110. I use this camera as an external camera on my 3D printers, my P1S and my Creality K2. The only thing is sometimes when the night mode turns on, this camera does have infrared sensors, which you cannot turn off. You can see them there, two lights. Do a quick showing of how I have modified them so that the little lights don't come on. Again, this is what I did. If you decide to do it, this is your own responsibility. Just know that once you do this, you will avoid any warranty, I'm sure, that you probably had or have. So do this at your own risk. Okay, so you can see the lights, and I will show my two methods. You can see a little light right there. It's a status light, and this light right here is an alert light. So if somebody breaks in or you want to show it off, that light right there will flash. Okay. So first thing, I'll take this off. Okay, so here it is. You're going to want to pry this off, the top cover off. If you have a pry bar, you can try that, so you don't do any damage to the side. To be honest with you, I find it more difficult to do it with the pry bar, so I just use a little screwdriver. You will nick the sides unless you have, very careful, but you will nick them. But again, this is a camera is going to be enclosed, so I don't care about the look of it. Slowly put it in a little, start prying it up, because you have an attachment clip here, 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 and here, right in the middle. There you go, one side's up. Okay, there we go, it's off. So there's two different types. The first camera I ever modified, this part here, this is where the infrared sensors are. This was just sitting in here without being clipped into this. This new model is now sitting on the actual cover. I will show it parts. You have two clips that are holding it in, here and here. You just pry it up a little, pry it to the side, it'll pop out. Okay. Here's a little sensor. These two are the infrared lights. This is the mic. This is your alert light. Again, the status light for the system is actually inside this little diode right there. I don't know if you can see it. That's the little alert light. That's the little status light of the camera itself. This light here is an alert light that you can turn on or off through the app. So if it detects motion, you can have it make a sound and the light will flash. I will show a little video of what it looks like. So your options are, you have two options here. Easiest one, well, actually you have three options. One option is just eliminate this completely, take it out. All you do is just take it out completely, close it back up, and you're done. When you do that, the only issue is you will no longer have a mic. You will no longer have this alert light, which I don't think many use anyways. I don't know what's the point of it. And you're not going to have the infrared sensor, which is what you want to get rid of. But most importantly for me is the mic. You will no longer have the mic. I like to listen in case you hear any sound. And you could also hear the printer running. If any scraping, that's why I like having the mic on. It's actually is close to the glass, so it actually picks it up. So that's your first option. Eliminate completely. That's up to you. If you don't care about the mic, easiest option, just take it out, put the cover back on, and you're done. Second option. Now this is your option that you would do if you think you're ever going to modify this back to stock again. So these are pretty strong infrareds. So you're going to want to cover this. I like to do a couple times. make it thick. I like to use electrical tape because it can take some heat. Now I have checked them and the lights do give out heat. Not hot, but they do get pretty warm. So you don't want to put anything that can burn, like paper or soft plastic or anything that might burn easily, because it could be a fire hazard. To me, electrical tape is a little tougher. It can withstand some heat, of course, because it's constantly against hot wires. So we just wrap it a couple times. That's already 1, 2, 3. That's 4 right there. Okay. It's about 4 turns. Now you can test it. What I like to do, just trim it. If you have scissors or something, just make sure you don't nick the actual board. There you go. So now I'm actually going to power it on, and you can tell, you can see the light. I'm actually going to take it off so you can see how the light looks. You see that's the status light. Turn off. That clicking that you heard, that's the infrared turning on. As you can see, there's no light bleed anywhere, which is what you need. When I plug this, when I have it on my camera, I actually turn off the indicator light, which is an option in the menu in the app. As you can see, it's done. There's no infrared light bleed. That was, I think, about 4 or 5 wraps of tape, and you're good. The issue now is to put this back on. This one here, you might have to trim it or cut it off. It's a little knot right here just to hold it in place. You can just trim it off and you'll be fine. Okay, so that's your second option. So just wrap tape on it. Be careful what you put. Don't use masking tape. Don't use paper tape. Use electrical tape or any other thick heat resistant tape, because this does get very warm, especially if you have it on or the system turns it on. You don't want to risk that. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to show the third option. There you go. That's how it looks. You like to see them? They're on right there. Okay. So I found if you trace the lines, if you can see it, if you trace this line right here, this one right here, goes to this pin right here, this bottom pin. This is the last option, and this is I'm gonna say a permanent modification to this. So this can just be lifted up. You can remove this plastic here. There you go. This pin here. This is the one that if you remove this pin, you could just clip it off. If you clip this off, you can just put this back on and the infrared will not turn on. Everything else works. You just remove this single pin right here. To the back side, this pin. Looking at it from the back, it's the bottom right. Bottom right. If you're from the front, the bottom left. Just to show you, do a little. So I've done both methods in each one of my printers. I don't want to modify this one yet, because this camera is actually going to go towards my A1, and I don't need to change it. I'm just going to cover that pin. This is just to show that that is the pin that covers the infrared. That's good enough. It's just so it doesn't actually make contact. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put this right there. There, you heard it click, but there's no light. The infrared does not turn on. Mic still works, the alert light works if you care about that. So to me, the important part is the mic, but the infrared does not turn on. So this pin, whether you modify it there or you modify it here, this one here, if you modify it here, it'll be the same thing. All you have to do is just, I find it easier, clip it here, remove the pin or bend it, whatever you want. You can drop this back on. If I can put this on. So this pin will be missing, and then all you got to do is just plug it back in and seal it up, and you're fine. Right now you can see the light because the pin is not covered. It's not covered, and it's making contact because I did not remove the pin. But if you remove that pin, these won't turn on anymore. So that the last option is a permanent fix. You will not be able to just take the tape off and use it again with infrared. So that's up to you. I find the tape works well for me. Oh, actually. Just have to clip it in. Just put it on the same way. You can see because I did not modify it and I took off the tape, lights are back on. But there you go. Those are your options to modify, to remove the infrared on the C110 camera.
So here's an example of the glare you get with the infrared against the glass. Here I just turned the infrared on. You can see the glare. Turned it off. Now I'm going to turn off my external lights, my room lights. There's the glare again. You can see that with the glare it does reduce the amount of visibility inside, especially when it's printing, and if you don't have your light on, it could be an issue. There you go. Thank you. Hope this helps.